Happy New Year. I'm Paul Chartier. This is Heart of Gold. We have a good friend, Malcolm Ratchford from Community Action Council. Welcome.
Thanks for having me again. Happy New Year.
I'd like to get you on in the winter. You've got a lot of things going on for cold weather people and insulation and tax credits, but you've got a whole year of activities going on. Tell me some of the things going on right now that are main focus for you, Malcolm.
Yeah, Paul, I mean, as you mentioned, of course, whenever there's cold weather, and we've had mild temperatures, but you know, as you mentioned before, it's always important to make sure our seniors and homes that have young children that they have heat. And so one of the biggest things we do is making sure that homes are weatherized, make sure we don't have energy going out the window literally, and then also making sure that folks have enough money to pay those bills so they're not sacrificing food or prescription drugs or things of that nature in order to stay warm. So we do our part on that end, but that's one of the things we've been doing in our 50-year history. But the most important thing that's been going on is just Community Action Council trying to figure out how do we get people out of poverty.
Yeah.
You know, that's been the most crucial thing we've been working on.
We'll talk about that in depth, but for the people that have weather issues with a cold home, what do you do to winterize and weatherize a home?
In fact, we have this big thing we do with Kentucky Utilities. It's called Winter Blitz, and we just had it a couple months ago. And we go out to about 40 homes on a Saturday, and we just do some minor weatherization things, like putting up plastic on windows. You can save 20 to 30% from just put in plastic kits that they sell sometimes at Home Depot and Lowe's on your windows, and you can feel the difference and see the air moving back. You do some weather stripping on doors. For some places we replace furnaces depending upon that nature of that home. So a lot of measures you can take to conserve energy, and like I said, 10 to 30% of any difference on your bill is a big difference when it comes to
huge. And these folks, they don't have money to be, like you said, warming the outside of their home.
Exactly.
If they want someone to come out and do an analysis, is it KU that does it, or do you all do it?
No, we actually have contractors that we utilize. I would just recommend they either call us, on our phone number at Community Action Council at 233-4600, or they can look on our website as well, www.comaction.org, and just talk to us about our energy assistance programs or our weatherization programs. So we'd be glad to have someone come out and assess your eligibility for a program in your home.
It's got to be a great feeling for you to know that you're helping people like you do to save money on their energy. But as you mentioned, the other arm of what you do, you're trying to get people out of poverty. Yeah,
because there's two things we look at it. One is, are you providing safety services so that people don't die? Do they have food, shelter, heat in the wintertime, when it's summertime, or, they have cool air? So we focus on those things too. We want to make sure that you have your basic needs met. But the issue is that you can't stay there forever, Paul, in terms of just only providing that assistance. Because what happens is it becomes like toxic charity. Robert Lupton has a book that talks about that. And I think what we want to do is make sure that we're not staying there all the time, that we're shifting folks from addressing those basic services back to where we actually look at things that produce outcomes that ultimately get a person on a pathway out of poverty, so they don't have to come back in next year for energy assistance. That would be the ultimate goal.
So how do you do that?
Well, you have to do programs that actually build workforce development and training. And for our young children, it's starting them out in Head Start, so they can have a Head Start literally, and making sure that they can compete in this global society. And so we're starting off young with those folks. For our seniors, the pathway out of poverty is different. It's not that you're going to get a person who's a senior to go to college, although they can, and we're not asking them to go out on a job. But we can improve their conditions so they're not sacrificing their prescription for their energy bill. But for everybody else in the middle, you keep hearing this word able body, you hear it a lot thrown out. Well, for those folks, we need them to volunteer. Even if you're unemployed, come out and volunteer. You'll market some job skills that way. Come out and learn some soft skill training, and ultimately we want to get you in a livable paying job, livable wage paying job. Because that is the only way you're going to get out of poverty, is you got to make more money. Okay, that's the only way to get out. And so you got to do some training with folks to help them do that, and what we call our pathway out of poverty. We have some unique programs that they're designed specifically to increase your skill set, and also work with employers who now we can say they've gone through Community Action Council's programs, we need you to hire them. And that's for our second chance folks too, folks with criminal backgrounds, anybody who's contributed to that vicious cycle of poverty.
We've got the time. Let's talk about some of those programs. So someone calls the phone number, goes to the website, they don't have a job, they want to find a way out. What do you do with that person, with that family? How do you get them from here to self-sustainability?
Once we've assessed their basic needs, meaning that they don't have transportation, they don't have shelter, they're homeless, these are the type of calls we get. We need food to make it to Friday, it's Monday. we address those things first, and then we assign a pathway specialist. We've even changed some of our positions internally so we can make sure we're not just doing case management, but that this person understands that this family is going to go through a continuum, and you're going to stick with them the entire time. Getting out of poverty doesn't happen overnight. It can take years, and you can come in and out of it. And so you'll assign a pathway specialist with that person, and they'll say, what are you interested in? Not what we want to, community action council is not going to tell you, well, you need to be, go to vocational school, or you need to go to college. What are you interested in? What is your passion? And then also, if a person has a background, a criminal background, you can't send them into certain fields because you got to, and so we don't want to do a disfavor to people. We want to say, what is the opportunity we can create with that family, and then put them towards that pathway.
How many employees do you have?
We have approximately 300 employees.
And are they trained in social work, or what are they trained in to take people and be able to analyze where they need to be and where they need to go?
That's a great question, because just this year we decided to what we call triage them employees as to what is their skill set. You have some people who are just good at doing intakes, meaning data entry. Then you have some people who actually have social work degrees, and then we just had 4 staff today who got their family development credential from Temple University. I just got that email today that they passed their test, 80 hours of coursework, and passed their final exam, and so they are credentialed with the family development credential out of Temple University, and that's to get people out of poverty. That's the case management expertise that you're looking for. And so I just got an email today that 4 of our staff, and we have some others going through that process, but you got to have a person who knows how to get a person out of poverty. One of the unique things about community action is many of the people we hire, Paul, they often have been in poverty themselves. Sometimes just yesterday.
So it's not theory that they're talking about this. They've been there, they know what it's like.
They've been there and know that, but you also got to help them help another person. So they have to be trained on the theoretical side of it, though, afterwards. They've got the practical experience, but you do need them to get that theoretical experience afterwards.
300 employees. How many people per year do you help?
About 30,000 individuals, and that's unduplicated, so it's not the same people, but 30,000, and that's in all 4 of our counties, Fayette, Harrison, Bourbon, and Nicholas County. So not just, but the majority of those, I would say about 27,000, 26,000 are in Fayette County.
Looking at a pie chart of who you help, some of the people are getting heat, helping with utility bills. What % of that pie chart are people that you're trying to get off of poverty?
Well, we're trying to get them all out of poverty in terms of everybody who comes. Out of that 30,000, everybody in order to qualify for a program at Community Action, you have to be deemed low income by our federal poverty guidelines. So everybody we serve is low income. Now, what happens is they all vary from no income, which is 0% of poverty, meaning I have no income at all. People would say, well, that's not possible. It is possible to have no income at all, meaning they're not receiving any cash benefit from the government, so they're not on welfare. TANF numbers, temporary assistance for needy families, is reducing every year. So families aren't even getting that. But then you look at from 0 to 200%. At 200%, we consider in society and in most federal poverty guidelines that a person has reached self-sufficiency. So we range anywhere from 0 to 200% from the folks who work on our doors. The majority of the folks who come through our doors are working families, meaning they're working 40 hours a week, but they're making low wages. And you have to make more than $8 an hour at 40 hours a week to get out of poverty. Fair market rent value in Lexington, Kentucky for a 1-bedroom apartment is $700. So if you do the math on 40 hours a week, $8 an hour, which that's not minimum wage is $7.25, you can do the math and see that a person's going to struggle even if they're working full time.
Half their pre-tax wages are going to pay for the rent.
For the rent alone, not utilities, not transportation if they have a car for gas, insurance, repairs, food.
This new initiative of yours, how many years has it been going on, and how successful is it?
When you first interviewed me, I guess it was in 2013 or 14, in 2015 I decided that Community Action Council can no longer say that we've just served 30,000 people. We have to actually say, of the 30,000 people, this is how many people actually got out of poverty. Now, I believe we've gotten a lot of people out of poverty. I need the data, which I can get that. We've been tracking that for decades. But we need to also have programs that create that opportunity. One of the things behind you is our Unlimited Impact initiative. And that's what it's basically talking about, is that what is the impact that we have? Because we do have one. We just got to tell a better story with that.
With this taping, you've got 14 minutes to tell your story. What help do you need from the community?
Well, what we need, we have 3 arms that we're reaching out to right now. We have this huge Tie the Knot event where we're getting fathers involved in their child's life. And people say, well, that's an easy thing that should be happening all the time. Not necessarily. And we know from the research that having a father in a child's life is critical. So we reach out to the community. We need dads, mentors. If you know how to tie a tie, and I'm definitely looking for guys who know how to tie a bow tie. If you know one.
Good luck.
Exactly. If you know one, I need them. I need them to come out and show our fathers.
Really?
Because they don't. We had an event. We had a small event at one of our locations, and it was surprising to see how many dads, and they just felt ashamed to even ask. But how important is it for a young child to understand how to wear a tie?
Yeah.
They're going to need that.
Yep.
So that's one of the arms. The other one is our big summer soiree. We have it at 21C. We ask that you come out, support the event, but we do it for a cause. So if you can ever have a good time in life with a band and food, but also do it for a great cause,
absolutely,
that's a winner. And lastly, our Opportunity Conference. We just had it this year, and it was different from any job fair I've ever seen. And I'm not just biased because I work for Community Action, but we guarantee that when you come in our doors, you won't just get a pamphlet. We're going to sign you up for health care if you need it. We're going to get you a home if you need it, housing. But mainly we want to focus on making sure that at the end of the day, that person had a job opportunity.
I'm excited about poverty. How did this happen?
Me too.
I know you, I can tell. Give your website and your phone number.
Our website again is www.commaction.org, and you can reach us at 859-233-4600.
We've got a couple minutes left.
Okay.
Again, let's dive into what you need. You need more than people that can tie ties. What else do you need?
You need people, you need volunteers to come out, and volunteers actually who want to be employed. Now, that's another thing. I'm more so concerned about getting people out of poverty. And what I think happens once you do that is you'll see other people come around who will begin to help and contribute and sponsor. But if you're unemployed, I need the community, send them our way. They need an opportunity, send that family member, that friend, that neighbor, send them to Community Action Council.
If there's the feeling of being ashamed, embarrassed about being unemployed, get over it.
Yeah.
Get out there, join the community. It's a great community, great society that we have here, and look at all the things that can happen through
Just
you.
volunteer.
Yes.
Your first step is volunteering.
Any companies that you want to identify right now? Anybody you want to mention to thank for being a partner with you?
We've always had great relationships with our utility companies, Columbia Gas, Hurt Miller, Tim Melton at KU, but other partners as well. But they've always been tremendous supporters of the work that we do in this community.
Give the phone number, website again, and we're going to wrap this up.
Website, www.commaction.org, and our phone number, 859-233,
Yeah. That's why
I was going to give out my cell phone number.
No, don't do that. Happy New Year
Same
to the
you.
next 30,000 people that you impact. They're in good hands. You do a great job. The people that you work with, congratulate them for us, and keep up the good work, Malcolm.
Thanks again for having me.
Thank you. I'm Paul Chartier. We'll be right back on Heart of Gold.